Hello and welcome to Naija's Geeking Out podcast. This week we managed to have everybody on the podcast. Some people we have to wake them up from sleep early enough, and they might soon be going back to bed again. But we are glad they are here for this limited time. They are here with us. Anyway, Kex, how are you doing?
I'm very well today. How you doing?
I'm good. I'm good.
It's good.
Yeah.
Good to hear.
Dapo, how have you been?
I'm fine. I don't know if you're going to be fine for much longer, but I'm
But yeah, okay, good. Hope you're not feeling too sleepy.
Don't greet me. Don't greet me. Oh. Tunde, hi. Cakes, hi. Dapo, hi.
Red, how are you doing?
I'm here to come and fight people that
Regular never.
backstabbers. Yes.
Kex,
I mean,
Red informed me that he's coming to the UK end of July, and I think he said he might do a little detour to Amsterdam, a flyby.
Yes.
Oh, somebody.
So I should be in maybe end of July 27th, 28th, that weekend. Yeah.
Cool.
We'll see.
Okay, that sounds nice. But yeah, on to the show. This week we are still on our reading comics. We are going back to our roots. We are reading comics. But before we jump into that, we'll be talking about books like Boy Wonder by Juniper, Godzilla Here There Be Dragons, and also Kill Your Darlings. Yeah. But before we jump into that, unfortunately or fortunately, we are still watching my New Adventures with Superman, season 2, episode 4, I think. The Lanes Diverge. That's the episode title.
Yes.
Yes.
Dapo, you guys watch this?
Yes,
I did.
Overall, liked it or not?
If I'm being honest, for me, I think this was like, what's that phrase they use? Mid. Full mid, yeah. In a mid. Totally mid. Literally, onto you when you mentioned the title, then it came the details of the show came running back into my mind because that title kind of reminded me of what the main point is. Yeah, it's not an improvement from what we've discussed before. There's not much, weirdly, the one thing that I noticed, and I think I made a comment, but nobody answered me in the group. The animation looks super bright this time, like in a good way. In this episode, and I don't know why. I was watching. Oh, the colors are popping. So that's the best thing I could say for this episode.
Oh, wow. The best thing I can say for an episode is that the colors are popping.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, but there's one key development. Should I say development? There's one key story element that happens in this episode that I totally forgot was going to be a plot point of the whole season. Because the first few episodes have not really mentioned it.
The end or something else?
Was it at the end? It was in the beginning. He signals for somebody.
Yes.
Yeah.
So is it worth diving into? Because I started one and I couldn't finish it. I actually fell asleep.
Are you saying that? Is it worth you watching it?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. I would struggle to say that to anybody. If I've been honest.
I started and I actually fell asleep. That doesn't happen.
It's way worse. It's way worse than the first season.
I won't recommend it to people here. Your bar for enjoyment of this kind of things has to be low. That means you're not taking nitpicks on a lot of things. You're just watching it, and even then, it's
Okay.
So let me give a quick summary of this episode. Yeah, this episode is the lanes diverge, and so it focuses on the two lanes, Louis Lane and her dad. That is the A plot of this story, of this episode. Louis Lane is currently the dad is hiding out in Clark Kent's house as a fugitive from Amanda Waller and stuff. And then he's trying to either find his way back or escape. He thinks he's being very paranoid that Amanda Waller is tracking him. And so Louis Lane is trying to convince him to stay. And we get these flashbacks to their childhood where he's taking on a camping trip and giving her all these art guy lessons, preparing her for the world.
Sorry, let me interrupt you very, very briefly. You're doing a really good job, by the way, because I couldn't remember any of this. They reveal that her mom is Korean, and I thought her mom was Chinese. because we said it, I think in season 1, we're like, oh, that she's Asian, that she had an Asian, and I think the person voicing her is of Asian descent. So I was like, oh,
Yeah.
like she's supposed to be Asian. So I'm on, and you said the only thing that you liked were the colors. The only thing I liked was there's a bit where General Lane like is telling her the meaning of her traditional name. And he's like, oh, he's and he says it in Korean, and he sounds really, and he writes it as well, and he's like, oh, it means like shining silver star or something. And I was like, oh, that was like, it was just a little nice tidbits that I enjoyed, but yeah, I think that was the highlight of the whole episode for me. Go on, sorry.
So before you continue, one thing this episode did to me was drop me down a whole rabbit hole about how to identify the northern star in the sky.
Yeah.
I literally fell down that rabbit hole. I went outside trying to look for it.
You actually went to. So you see the episodes are actually touching that one. That's good to know.
I didn't find it, but kind of.
So yeah, there's that whole bit of how you can find your way. I mean, you are living in the middle of London. You
like I'm just even wondering, when was the last time you actually saw stars?
No, I live in a village. I can still see stars sometimes.
You see stars. Okay, all right.
Okay, that's interesting. Yeah. Well, yeah. So
actually,
like, there's
actually look at stars.
Really? Oh, nice.
Sorry. Right. You say you look at stars. Can you identify? Looking and identifying is two different things.
Yes, I can. Yes.
There's no point looking and just looking like a movie.
No, I can identify.
Oh, okay.
I have one of those telescopes where you plug in the.
Oh, it tells you what
you plug in the coordinator and then.
Oh, okay.
So then
I thought you were going stars. Like you go out and you look at stars. Okay.
That's what I thought you meant.
Yeah.
No, that's what I thought you meant.
So I know when Jupiter will be visible. I know when it's out. Just go.
Okay. That's a nice.
I track all those things.
Okay, that's nice to know. Well, yeah. So on the episode, like that is basically what the dad was teaching how to track us, how to find our way using the North Star, because like the North Star is a fixed point, according to make fixed points in space that you can from Earth that you can use to find your way. So there's that tidbit, and then it's juxtaposing their relationship in the past, in the present, because Louis is always complaining he's leaving now. I mean, for good reason, but it's a valid complaint. And yeah, we get the whole bit where it gets in touch with Wilson Scott, Toyman, basically. Yeah, who betrayed him by playing on his paranoia to tell him to come in, and Amanda Waller is there and all of that. And then he and Louis, they end up fighting the monsters. That's Deathstroke and some of the random monsters that came in. And like from there on to the end, it's very dull. But basically, he still decides to leave her because he saw how injured. Like his own complaint was that I can't let you get injured. And she is that I want to prove myself to you that I'm fine. But he still sees that gets injured, and he still chooses to leave because I mean he's trying to be a responsible like that aspect.
Yeah.
So that's the A-list story. The B-list story is basically Jimmy, Louis, Clark, and I can't believe this is a B-list story. Jimmy, Clark, and Lex. The big reveal of Lex Luthor onto the world. And it's the...
Sorry, was it the expo? Was it the expo?
The expo, yes, yes.
Okay, go on.
Yeah, the expo where they invited Jimmy to speak on Superman, and the whole thing turns to why Superman is evil. The speech is dull. Is not the most interesting argument for why Superman is evil. But there's that exchange between Jimmy and Lex, and basically the whole point of the episode is that when the A plot collides with the B plot, that's when Louis and the father are being chased by the monsters, they crash into the expo, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
Superman intervenes, and all the tech there, all these major technology things that have been displayed as the cutting edge of human advancement, were basically useless against Superman. And that was the Lex uses spins that into his whole point that this is why we need a defense against aliens. And yes, I'm proud of myself. I could remember all of that happened, even though I watched this show 20 minutes ago.
Oh, you just watched
details? The details are still slipping from my mind. But yes.
Yeah. I mean, the fact that you said all of that, it's now come back to me. Thank you for that.
Yeah.
Because I would have been struggling. I want to ask a question here, because I don't want to be too harsh on this show. How old is Jimmy, Clark, and Louis meant to be? in the show?
I think like
Do we know?
21, something like that.
I think
20s?
I think 20. They look like they're just fresh out of college, right?
Yeah, I think they're interns.
Yeah.
Like, they're
They're
basically
interns, yeah. So
21, 22. Yeah.
Okay, fine. It's just you mentioned this whole thing about you're an alien, humans don't like me. There was this old angst thing that Clark was suddenly
Oh
going
God,
and,
that happened.
and I just felt tired. And I thought, hang on, guy, how old are you already? You go through, and then you've got friends, you've got great friends who humans who respect you, and yet you get one speech from somebody like Lex, and then you're thinking about your whole existence.
Yeah, but I think the irritating thing is the people, the attendees to the summit or to the expo. Lex says something, and then they're like, "Yeah, leave us alone." I was like, "This is very Disney. This is very
it's very Disney,
like
very
Quasimodo, like simple. Like, come on, a little bit of common
basic.
sense.
It's very basic.
I mean, to be fair, that's the English supporters club basically, with Saka and the rest. So I understand that.
Right. See, okay, different. And I agree. I see where you go with that, but then they're never this blatant.
What?
They're never this blatant.
Who's not this blatant?
English media. Oh, they won't come out and say they didn't say anything.
Yeah, they just put a picture. Yeah, you
they
can
put a picture there. You will draw your conclusions, and yes, I don't know those conclusions are there, but in this one, they bring out the old tired tropes. They kind of go, yay! I'm just like this.
Yeah.
Oh God, there's no level of maturity to the arguments. Even the arguments are lame.
Maturity to it.
See, here's the thing. A few years ago, I would agree with you. But if you see the kind of arguments we have in real world now, the kind of arguments that are trending right now, I don't find a lot of maturity to arguments nowadays.
Trending where though? In social media.
It
says speaks. This is meant to be written by people who have got some intelligence. A show
to appeal to the people on social media, basically. So this is what, like, I think is going for the lowest denominating factor. That, you know what? This is black. This is white.
We said
it's
last
for
week
kids.
that the show is for 12-year-olds. Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
but even I think this is insulting to 12-year-olds.
Not bad.
Maybe I'm overestimating 12-year-olds.
No, they are not overestimating 12-year-olds.
Okay.
I'm just underestimating adults right now. Because I still find, like, with the way the show is breaking it down, there are still some idiots that would still see the other side and say, oh, maybe it makes sense. I still find a level of this thing in it. So yeah, that's why right before I'm all about make it very complex. Like the argument should be nuanced. You should be able to see both sides of this thing. But right now, I think it's fine if a show goes, this is black, this is white. Please stick to that side.
Yeah,
because that's where we've gotten to now.
Kurt is right. We said last week, so I don't know why we're even surprised. I think in a way, we are the ones watching this, and we're not meant to watch it. So we should
agree.
We should shut up and stop moaning about this. If I'm being honest,
yeah.
And I think I'm doing the most moaning, but I said I can say that nobody forces to watch this thing, my friends. Now you sit down, watch out, and it's not meant for you, So
that's the best endorsement for me not to watch it.
Yeah. I would not.
You will not recommend it.
Anybody, even to a kid, even to a 12-year-old, I won't recommend it.
Yeah.
You won't to a 12-year-old?
I'll recommend it to like a 5-year-old.
The problem is the reason why I wouldn't recommend it to a 12-year-old. Honestly, genuinely, I don't think there's enough action to hold a 12-year-old's attention. Because they do like action, like they do like Blaze, Sonic, like stuff moving fast. This can be quite.
When you say 12-year-old, people, let's clear. 12-year-old is like second year secondary school.
Yeah.
This is not secondary school level at all.
Okay. Because I'm trying to think of what is good in this particular episode.
I like the colors.
No, you like the colors.
I like the Northern Star.
Yeah. Like the relationship between Luis and her dad.
No.
You don't like that?
I didn't. Okay, I've got an issue with that, and this is me. This is nothing to do with the show.
Yeah.
This whole trope of a dad and an army brat, and then moaning about we keep on moving. I've seen this in so many shows, so many. It's tired for me. Yeah, and I also seen it from Louis Lane in the comics as well, because it's a thing in the comics as well where, I'm an army brat. We always used to move. So kind of it's nothing new to me, and so I thought, okay, here we go. Compared to your dad that he's moving when he's it makes me look at you. You're not 12. You're not 10. You're an adult. You should understand that's the nature of his job that he's doing. He didn't do it to spite you as a kid. If a teenager was moaning and complaining, I could kind of get it.
Yeah.
But you're an adult. You're working.
Well, she just passed teenage, right? She just started working. She just out of school.
It doesn't matter. You're working. She's an adult. She's 21. And maybe I'm being a bit harsh because
when you finish, I'll say something.
Because
I was going to say,
yeah.
You go now. You go.
Okay. Because I look at my own children, and purely on experience, I've now realized the switch from stroppy, locking myself in room teenager that knows nothing wrong to an understanding of the world becoming turn around. It's actually quite. It's before the 20s. It's not happening around 18, 19. Now, maybe I'm just looking at my own two kids.
Yep.
The one there now is literally just coming out of that face. Tade, who's 21, he's totally out. The way he's mature is unreal. The turnabout is unreal.
That is 21.
Yes. Yes.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. You know what? So what I would say. So my thing is, you can't underestimate girls that have, no offense, ladies, that have daddy issues, and it genuinely follows them for a very long time.
Right.
And sometimes they know that they have daddy issues, but they cannot help themselves in their behavior.
Right. Can I ask you to? Can I ask you
to explain?
Yeah, please. Yes, because I don't have daughters.
Yeah. So there are those that have absentee dads and are looking for father figures.
Right. Okay.
So preferably they will like older guys. Blah 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 blah. There are those that they have present dads, but the dad is absentee is emotionally absent.
Right. Okay.
Which is what it looks like General Lane is. He was around. He was, but he between his work and stuff, and he almost wanted a boy, and his way of bonding with her was, let's go into the woods, let's go and do this, I'll leave you in the tent at night, and then you wake up scared and try to run and come and find me. Those are little things that I'm telling you, they seem little, but for a girl, especially without the stability of a mom to bounce some things off of and to kind of bring her down, say, no, your dad is actually like a pretty good, it can have lasting effects. Okay. So some of the things that she says are so, as an adult, are so juvenile, that I'm like, okay, clearly this has had an impact on you when you were so young, but now you can't even break out of that mold of daddy had to work. That daddy had to work. And I thought about this when she was complaining, even as a child, that we always have to move. And he was asking about her friends, and she was like, "Oh, that was 2 bases ago."
Yeah. And
I thought about it. I was like, okay, if I was General Lane, how do I actually manage having a daughter and being transferred for like, let me not say gigs, but you know what I mean, like
tours.
I think at some point you'd have to say, look, I got to stay here. Right, you can't do 3 years, 1 year, 2. Like it's very, very disruptive. Like you're raising a Jack Reacher, then someone who has no roots. It can be quite unstable and unsettling for a person.
Do they have to make a choice? So in this scenario, it's slightly different because she now doesn't have a mom as well.
Yeah. That makes it worse. Yeah.
So the stability is even less.
Yeah.
So and she has in this scenario, she doesn't have any siblings. I don't think they mentioned her sister.
They haven't mentioned anyone.
So she's the only one.
They haven't mentioned anyone. Yeah, even when they're doing the whole camping thing. Yeah, exactly. That kind of leads to that. There wasn't somebody else to. I don't know. I kind of got it. Got it. It's easy for me. I definitely in my head, I'm always like, look, grow the fuck up. The man had to do what the man had to do.
Yeah.
Well, I also think about it from the general's POV that could you have maybe,
Tried more.
tried more, tried harder,
Yeah.
and if your instinct is to leave when she's in danger, I'm like, I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know.
Do you
I
think
feel
there's something wrong with his instincts to leave?
With what?
with what?
He said if his instincts were to leave when she's in danger, you
Yeah,
think that's
when he's put her in danger. No. I don't think it's wrong. I don't think
yeah,
it's wrong. But I think that I don't think you should leave without telling her.
telling her, oh, okay.
Leaving without telling her, regardless of the reason why you've done it, is still
Yeah.
going to just compound the bad relationship
Mm.
you have with her. You have to tell her that.
Okay.
look,
Yeah,
you
I mean,
have to go.
him leaving when she's in danger is the right move. But as Keck said, at least tell her.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
hope she
I
doesn't
gotta-
do the stubborn lane thing and try to
Yeah.
follow him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Sorry, go on.
No. Finish.
So Clark makes the call.
Yes.
Now,
yes,
this bit I also don't understand.
Before we get to Clark making the call,
Yes.
I'll then talk about what that was raised about Clark feeling insecure and
Yeah.
angsting, basically. I mean, this is the guy that I don't think up until Jimmy he has had any friends. We don't know about his backstory, but I don't think, at least from what the implication from this I'm getting, that Jimmy was his actual first human friend. So he's a guy that has always been dealing with his
wait. First human friend that knows his secret.
No, first human friend. Because
whatever.
it goes back to when I first met you in school, you said we are going to be friends.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
Yeah.
So let me take it back. Yeah. Okay, sorry. I get what you're saying. For a minute, I thought, yes. So he knew Jimmy from back in school in Smallville.
Not in small in university college.
Is Jimmy from Smallville?
So here's my point. Okay, so
College.
my point now remains valid. So you're telling me he never had a friend throughout his whole primary school?
I think that's the implication they are having here, that he never did. Because it was like Clark was like, you saved me. The first time you saved me was when we first met in college, and you called me you said, oh, we're going to be friends.
Do you know there are people like this? Do you know there are people like this?
Yeah.
They are friends with everyone, but they don't have any party.
Yeah, I'm not even sure
birthday parties. They might maybe do birthday parties, invite people over. I remember that these are people trying to keep a secret, including his parents. As much as they encourage him to make friends, they'll still be like, don't go and shake that guy.
So I'm guessing
I'm
guessing in this calendar there was no Pete Ross or type person.
Yeah. I don't think there was Pete Ross or
Lana.
Or Lana in this.
It reminds me somewhere or something.
Yeah.
Okay.
It reminds me of H1, if you remember H1 books, where they had this very sad moment when Louis was looking into his past and said he was getting C's all through. He had nobody, he touched nobody. And yeah.
I don't like when they try to make Clark Kent Peter Parker.
Ilona.
Ilona, a loser.
No, Peter Parker had friends.
Not really.
No,
not really. He didn't. No.
Peter, the original Peter did not have friends.
No, he didn't. It was that guy was like down on his luck.
Yeah,
at all.
I think he started getting lucky later on with Gwen come into his life, and then he had nobody.
His initial dabblings with Daily Bugle was freelance and wasn't always getting paid. Like, some of the pictures would be like, this is not good enough.
So Peter was an outcast in like weird this thing.
Yeah.
Clark's outcast. When they make Clark an outcast, it's like, oh, it's very other, very alien. Not that he's sad or anything. It's just like it's very apart.
See, this is okay. This is my bias showing here, and this is my past association with Superman and the versions of Superman I'm used to.
Yeah.
Almost none of them ever used to have Superman as you described it. I think the first time I saw that, and I might be wrong, the first time I saw that actually was in Man of Steel.
John Byrne?
No. The movie.
No.
Okay, go on.
There are books before that.
I can't remember it. Yeah.
It was in. There was H1 before. There was H1 before that. I think even Secret Identity before that.
American Alien was it? Was American
Alien is after Man of Steel.
Okay.
You got some Man of Steel. American Alien has that a bit,
We've seen this before. We've seen this
Yeah.
before. Where it's not, the thing is, the feeling of being an outcast. Honestly, Man of Steel was a bit extreme in it, because it's quite extreme. I feel in Man of Steel. I feel he's always been friendly without being anyone's friend. Like Isabi and Rich House.
No,
Okay, we know his parents are cool. His
Before
parents are
then,
nice.
before that, he had Lana and
He always
Yeah, before that he had Lana.
Yeah.
Yes. No. I'm saying in the comic books that they have had him not have particularly
okay.
tight relationships with people, or
Yeah.
he's
Yeah, but
he's not been as odd. Parker was genuinely not
So
liked.
can I make a point then? So all those books you mentioned, none of them were ever running series. They're basically the
one shots and stuff like
one
that.
shot and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I think
It's usually stories that skip to Superman. You know, most comic books still refer to his childhood a lot,
Right,
and they
okay.
go, "Oh, his childhood friends Lana and Pete." But when they comic a one shot or a graphic novel skips to his
I'm even
adulthood,
trying to remember his Superman for all seasons. Did he have friends in that one? I think he did.
oh, it did he? I don't think it
It was in the diner. I can't remember. It was in the diner with some.
Yeah.
I can't remember.
I don't think it did because because
Can
books
I-
like that. Yeah.
What about New 52? What
He had Lana and he had Lana. I'm not sure about Pete because I remember there was an arc where Lana comes into the story and they refer back to their childhood as friends.
Okay.
So books like that, like where I think it's a shift in the modern age where instead of just Superman being this all American friendly person, they try to emphasize on how alien he is. So they take out his childhood and they like, and I think Edward is the first one to do it well.
And I guess again, I think you probably hit on the bullseye of my bias. So my bias for Superman has always been Superman is the all-American boy. That's who I grew up with.
But
So when I see the loner type version of Superman, it kind of doesn't sit well with me, because I think no, that's not how that's not something I know. That's more like my Peter Parker type, or people who are he was always he had a good upbringing. He was happy.
He had a great childhood.
All that kind of stuff. But okay.
But do you like? I get that's who you grew up with, but like when you're thinking of Superman, like which one would you prefer in terms of storytelling and character-wise? The all-American one or the one that grew up understanding how alien he is, how different he is from people?
Honestly, and again, okay. So I was going to say bias, but let's put it this way: I was reading Superman back for I'm ancient of age, so I've been reading back from the 70s.
Yeah.
But for me, nobody hits Superman up to this day as well as the Man of Steel comic series.
Yeah.
And that's still my favorite all-time version of him growing up. And that was he had a happy life. He was, so I guess
that's my friends.
Yeah.
Okay. Kex.
I think Birthright for me is my favorite Superman growing up. I really like he was a very wholesome character. He was very well balanced, well adjusted. He wanted to see the world, but he wasn't even on a I'm lost thing. It was more I want to see this place that I want to protect. I want to explore. I have all these powers. And he was he wasn't solid at any point, despite some of the difficulties and wars that he was in, because there was some wars that he encountered in Africa, but he was I just really, really like that Superman.
No, when I say I don't like sad emo Superman.
No, I know. I'm just saying.
Like not, but like in this character, what I'm talking about, like even if it's not emo, like he has this optimistic. For me, Superman is ultimately an optimistic character. 100%. If Superman is down, if Superman is being emo and angsty, is not. It doesn't jive with his outlook on in life. But like even him being optimistic, like being that cheerful guy, like you described, that still didn't have any close friends growing up. I think
is that what you prefer?
No. I think it's an interesting angle to take for his character. But me personally, I like Lana and Pete a lot. I grew up on Smallville. Smallville was like my first. Okay, not my first though. I watched the old Superman series, but like it's the one I remember the most.
Okay.
Smallville with Lana and Pete, so I like that.
Okay.
But because I remember this book, Secret Identity, the book where it was about a kid in the real world that had Superman powers and was named Clark Kent. I'm not sure if you read that graphic novel.
I did not.
It's an amazing book. You should read it. I think that you read it, yeah.
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 Oh, sorry. How am I mixing it up? In the long run, that's the guy later on that became. He became. Oh, what's his name now? The guy that Flash beat up.
That who?
The Flash is always beat up in the overlaps.
I don't know.
Okay.
But
What's
it's
okay. Sorry. Superboy Prime.
No. It's not Superboy Prime. It's a short graphic novel. It's like a Black Label type kind of book, 4 issues, oversized book. It's a boy in the real world that becomes that reads that.
But he got powers. He got
powers. Nobody knows. No, he got powers. Nobody knows how he got powers, but he got Superman powers.
Okay, so right. Okay,
yeah,
that book.
Yeah,
is a rewrite of the version of the original Superboy Prime. Superboy Prime was Clark Kent in his universe who read comics and had no powers, and then he got powers, and then he became super powerful. That Black Label version is literally almost a retelling of that same story.
Because
yeah, go on.
Yeah, it's 4 issues. It grows old in the book like a normal human being. He has like 2 daughters that becomes. It follows his story. And there was one part where he becomes a writer, not a newspaper writer. And talk about his writing that the way he writes like a detached person from humanity. Like his writing style allows him to be detached from humanity and focuses his viewpoints like that. And that's where I first liked. That's the first book I read that touched on the idea of Superman being alien. To also see things slightly different and his perspective. Then you have books like All Star Superman that also focuses on that because of his powers and everything, the way he sees humanity is always going to be slightly different from how we view it. But yeah, we've gone with.
I guess
the
whole point of Superman is the whole immigrant story. So
yes,
I guess the question, and quite a few of us, I guess, have had experiences of being an immigrant.
Yeah,
in countries, and how do you see yourself? Do you, especially for those who were born in a country of immigrant parents? Because in a way, someone was born in America.
Yeah,
I agree with that.
Yeah,
I agree.
Yeah, so I guess probably more akin to my children rather than myself.
I was born in America. Was made in America.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that's a good way to look at it because like moving from the all-American boy to the immigrant, I'm focusing more on the immigrant story.
Yeah,
it's more important in this day and age where we have a lot more people experiencing that kind of difference. Yeah, that you don't usually have. Oh yeah, that's a good point.
So Tex, go back to your points.
Which one?
The call.
What?
The call.
The call?
Where he makes a call.
Oh, sorry. Yes.
At the end,
so he makes a call to Cara L or whatever her name is. My challenge here is why is he finding it so difficult to tell? He's been finding it difficult to tell Lewis for about 3 episodes now.
No, God,
I don't understand.
It's artificial.
Yes, it's a standard trope.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say it. Someone stops me from saying it. I'm gonna say it.
Yeah, but like even this, they did it in this one again, and I'm like, I don't understand what the problem
when she called him. When she called him, he could have just called back and say, "Hey, I'm going to do this."
Okay,
hello,
let me.
bye.
The guy can fly. He can fly
get to work quickly.
He can fly to her, tell her in 5 minutes, and then go.
Yep.
What is this whole let's meet on the top of the Daily Planet? Like it's so manufactured, so contrived, so pointless.
Agreed.
I don't get it. Like, do you think she will want you to contact?
She doesn't want him to contact him.
To contact his.
She has told him that.
So is he saying that he's still going to, or like is that what he wants to tell her? Oh, okay.
That's what he wants to like. I think he wants to sit and have a discussion with her. That, hey, I know you don't want to, but.
What was Lou's reason for saying?
I can't remember now. Yeah, she did.
She was like, we don't know how other aliens are going to be. Invasion, kind of this thing. Yeah,
So
the
so she was basically being racist. Okay, understood.
yeah, she was being racist.
Okay, understood.
Okay.
Like,
All right.
like remember in season 1, Louis actually saw visions of alien invasion.
Yeah.
So she's feeding off all of that. Yeah,
Oh.
yeah.
All right. Thank you. Okay. That
Yeah.
helps. That actually does help. Okay.
Okay.
That's all I have on this. On this.
I can't believe we spent 30 minutes on this show.
We do know how to drag
Wait,
it.
yeah. But yeah, okay. So moving on, we'll be talking about the comic reveals, and yeah,
Wait. Are we not going to rate this?
do we need to?
Yeah, we
I
should.
mean, okay, let's go.
There's no.
What do you give it?
Nobody escapes. I'll give it a 1.5. So it's higher than last week, but ultimately it's
That's
still.
I was going to give it a 2, but now I don't. It's making me look generous.
You know what? This thing is literally 1 second. It's literally taking no money from your pocket. It's not taking money from you. Give the thing what you want to give it now.
Okay, fair enough. I'll
like the points will finish next week.
I'll stick with
Hey,
it.
the boys. Sorry, I wanted to give the boys 5, but my points are finished. No, give it.
yeah.
Okay, I'll stick with the 2.
I'll give it a 2 as well. Like, I'm not completely offended by the show, and I like that the discussion we had. It took me, like, when watching it, took me back to previous Superman comic books I liked.
Yeah. There is that. I think thus far, Jimmy is still the one person who I'm liking, and I thought I would not like this character when I first started in season 1, but somehow, and the guy is just spending that money.
He's spending the money. Wait, one thing I would say about Superman, this show, that it struck me as I was watching it, is that even though I don't like this show, the people that are making this show love Superman. Even though I don't agree with their direction or anything, it feels more like a project of passion than anything else. It's not. I would never call this show lazy.
It's a project of passion by a bunch of teenagers.
That's fine. That's perfectly fine. Like, we've seen, because we've seen so many CPM shows that you can describe as, what?
No, it's honestly,
it's lazy.
It's the same level. In my view, it's literally the same level.
No, not really. Well,
which one's better? CW or
which one?
You say it's not really CW level.
No, CW. No, I didn't call it CW.
No, I'm saying that
it's better than CW. CW can feel
really?
very late. CW can feel, no, in terms of, not in terms of quality, but like in terms of,
like the
CW can feel very by the numbers, basically.
Okay.
Like, you watch some CW shows and you realize that, these guys are just putting in all the tropes and everything. Like, even the acting and everything is just like, what?
I think CW
like Flash.
I think CW is worse.
By far.
CW has had 10, 12 years now. They really, at this point, should be putting out quality. But some of the same issues that you have with Titans are the same issues that they were having in season 2 of The Flash, or Naomi, or
CW got worse.
and they're still green lighting things like Knights of Gotham.
Gotham Knights.
It's poor.
I'll call it. What do you call those places where they put little kids to work in Asia? Sweatshop.
Yeah.
So CW is a sweatshop for writers, just trying them out, trying it out.
CW got worse. I can't think of this. Like Smallville started off great. Of great, and it dropped off. But even then, its drop off was not as bad as Flash. When Flash started, and Flash, we all know how Flash ended. Green Arrow season 1 and 2, season 2 especially, the one with Deathstroke, is considered a very good season of TV. Yeah, but it's, God knows. Then we have nonsense like Legends of Tomorrow. Then now, like CW. If you study CW's trajectory, all the shows they've been making successfully, it's like each new show they come up with is worse than the previous one.
It gets watered down. Everyone's getting watered down. Make more.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Enough insulting CW. Moving on. So we are still on our how would I put that, returning to the roots of reviewing comic books.
Yes.
And this week we have a couple of comic books to read. So, but first of all, I want to talk about Boy Wonder by Juniper. So why I picked this book out specifically is because of the author Juniper. is one of the, I won't say oldest, one of the older faces in African comic scene. Yeah. If you remember Kogali from way back, that's Kogali that made, what's this thing called? Iwaju. From when they started, Juniper was associated with them. At least I think his comics were on their website because we were one of the first online stores to online places you can read African comic books. And yeah, his artwork is also a very, very different style of artwork, and his earlier books were also very different. It's Senegalese, if I remember correctly.
He is Senegalese, yeah.
Yes, yes, yeah. So yeah, he's someone what's his thing called? I think I first noticed him in the anthology, the one of the Kugali anthology books that they did, and the artwork there was very different. And like, you know what?
Yeah.
I like this. And yeah, so he's writing Boy Wonder for DC Comics. It's a a fairy tale telling.
Yes,
Of Damian Wayne.
Yes.
Of Damian Wayne, the fourth prince of Gotham, basically. And yeah. What do you guys think?
So Juniba was someone I first heard of on Facebook. I think it was even in our group in the meltdown. So I think I can't remember. Maybe someone congratulated him or said something, and I was like, okay, no, let me. Who is this? And I was like, okay, not bad. He works with Kugali. Okay, that's fine. And I never thought anything of it. So when you mentioned Boy Wonder, I like, and then you put Juniba, I was like, okay. Let me see this. And I'll be honest, I wasn't expecting to enjoy this comic book as much as I did. It's even from the art style, which I think I was mentioning before, has a kind of an Eastern influence in the way he draws it, almost like almost like something like someone said Malaysian. I was like something Indian. Yeah, it has that style, and the storytelling of it as well, like in a mythological sense or a storybook fashion. The guy said, "Oh, there was a boy who was raised by his grandfather and his mom, and then he got sent to live with his dad, and then his dad didn't love him, and then even like it was so well done. Like I really enjoyed that storytelling style that the guy employed there. This is one that honestly, and I expect it to be what, maybe 4 or 5 issues. When it ends, I'm going to buy the hard copy. Yeah, as long as you just stick the landing, just don't do anything trash. Just stick the landing, and I'm going to buy it. And he's recounting the story to like a cook.
yeah, indeed, yes. I like that device. Yes.
Yeah, I like that part as well. Yeah. So I like, the art I like, the storytelling I like, the dialogue is good. And of course, they represent my boy Nightwing positively. Of course, Tim Drake was a footnote. What did they say about him? I think the guy said Nightwing was brave and kind.
Go on.
Jason was brash and something,
and vengeful.
Tim was smart, like the smartest and something. I can't remember. Each one of them had like qualities. Yeah. That he mentioned that stuck out. I was like, I like this book.
So it's it looks like the structuring of these comics will be one for each Robin, in my view. So we've had the Nightwing issue, we've had the
Red Hood
issue. Red Hood. So, and the title of the next one is Flight with the Red Robin. So this is where the best Robin is going to appear.
I'm sorry, guys. How many issues of this have you read?
I've read 2.
Oh, I've read 1.
Oh, I've read.
You should read the second one. Yeah.
I read the second one.
Yeah. So I think it's 1 per Robin.
Oh,
yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. So next week we will see the real one. I don't know if next week or whenever it comes out.
Which real one?
Tim Drake, the best Robin ever.
Julie is just going to sit down at his desk for like 5 hours and write nothing because like this guy is boring, man. This guy is boring. I have nothing. He would just be like, you know what? I'm going to write about Stephanie. Okay, so Stephanie did just talk about spoiler. Or Cassandra. Nah, you guys dry, please.
So you've not read the second issue?
I haven't read the
I
second one.
found the second issue very disturbing. I won't lie.
Oh God.
Really?
Yes,
Okay,
for one main reason.
What's
the
that?
way, the way he draws Red Hood when you see his scars. It's
Okay.
very disturbing.
Okay.
He's proper
Beat up.
He's not beat up. I have to swear, he's fucked up. Like,
wow.
If you see his body, his skin, everything, he looks a mess.
Yeah.
And the way he lives is a mess. He looks a mess. His whole life is a mess. But he's still doing his Red Hood thing. And he still has his, like, he lives like in a, I don't know what's the best word for
all this quarter down, like house scheduled for demolition, that kind of.
No bed.
The thing is, all of this stuff really tracks with the personality of.
Oh yeah, it does.
It does.
Yeah, it does. But he really puts the light of the way he's portrayed. Actually, I want to ask a question here.
Yeah.
And this question, I'm sure nobody here is going to be the person I'm talking to. So I'm putting this out to our listeners there. Is there anybody who say their favorite Robin is Red Hood? Have you ever heard anybody?
You'll find a lot of people that say that.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Wow.
Especially those that, if you ask, off the top of my head,
let me tell you something.
Some of the Snyder fans like him.
If you can find, and I mean this, if you can find someone that the person's favorite Green Lantern is Guy Gardner, there is absolutely no reason why you will not find someone that the person's favorite. Do you know how crazy it is? For somebody to say that Guy Gardner is his favorite Green. Dumbest one. It makes no sense to me. It makes
right. Like that's what if people are like Punisher, or they want to see Batman kill War. Like
people that their favorite Ninja Turtle is Raphael.
Exactly.
Like he's the baddest. He's the baddest. You know the way you do
the baddest guy.
He's a bad guy. He's I'm like, this guy, you are sick. So that is.
Someone just stopping straight bullets here.
There'll be more Jason Todd fans
than Guy Gardner fans.
No, damn Tim Drake.
I had this whole spiel I wanted to make about this Red Hood and
go on.
You have just totally. You just took a cheap shot at my favorite Green Lantern. You totally just put me off track. My whole thought process is there was no need for that. It was underhand and uncalled for. I'm sorry to say this, you know. But yeah, I mean, I was going to say, if you're a Red Hood fan, can you come and explain yourself? You know? People comment, on our social media, send us an email, tweet. You know, whatever.
But Kex has said it. Whatever information you're looking for.
When you're putting this thing, can you also tell me the name of your therapist? Because I need to know. You know.
But Kex has said it. If you're looking for the explanation, just look in the mirror and explain why you like Guy Gardner.
Why do you like Guy Gardner?
This is uncalled for. This is totally uncalled for. I'm sorry. Okay. I don't know why I said this.
Your description makes so much sense. The way you guys said he drew Jason Todd. Jason Todd's Jason Todd is someone who is very clearly extremely disturbed.
Oh yes,
very.
So, both from the childhood trauma before he became Robin, and then after he became Robin, and then after he died and came back. You know, he's someone who has so many unresolved issues.
And they touch on that in this issue.
Oh, okay. Oh,
no, it's very.
Gotta read this.
Sorry, and I will confess, before this podcast came on, I didn't know who Jimmy Battle was. I seen that name, I assumed somebody from a totally different part of the world. I was educated by Today and Kex about this guy. When you open this first page of these books, the art, first of all, what's this? But very quickly, once I started reading, I acclimatized almost very quickly to the art style. So it was, but I remember opening the first page. I think, oh God, do I want to read this? That was my first instinct. but I'm glad I did, because it quickly became a non-issue, and then I started to like the art, especially in the Red Hood one. I appreciated how he drew Red Hood, and it hammers home the message even harder about what this character is about.
You know,
so Juniper, my Senegalese brother, I salute.
Yeah, you touched on the art, and I really want to touch on that. There are some art styles that it starts off weird, and then it just fits the story that is being told in a way. Like, there are two names he mentioned in the book that it talked about. Like he made a comment from Darwin Cook. The art reminds me a bit of what Darwin Cook did for what's this book? GLA, The Final Frontier. Like, it's similar.
Okay. The one, I know the one. The one with the tall Wonder Woman.
Yeah, yes, I think that's the one.
Yeah.
But I remember it was adapted, and like it reminds me a bit of that because it's not drawn realistically. Let me put it that way. It's drawn in this very stylistic style. It also reminds me of this person. If you remember the New 52 Wonder Woman, Cliff Chang, how he draws his characters and everything. Like, there's also that element of the way it's colored and everything, that mythological aspect to it. Like, you're not reading a straightforward book. You're not reading a realistic take on this thing. You're reading a story. Exactly. You're reading someone telling a folklore.
Yeah, exactly.
Rather than watching a movie. So it feels very much like that, and I really, really like that. So I'll read the quote that he said from Darwin Cook. I said, they are in the very best essence of the world's childlike. It's the very essence of the term superhero, and you feel that could permeate through this book. This book has a sense of childish, I don't want to say wonder to it, but like the style expressed in it, it's fitting for the story that is being told. Like, it's fitting for telling the fairy tale of the DC world. And like, I didn't think I would like. I picked this book purely because of the author, the artist name. And you know what? I said, Juniper, I'm going to give it a read. I didn't think I would love it as much as I ended up doing. It's a really good read.
I'm looking forward to 2. I'm going to read it tonight. So I want to go sideways a little bit here to talk about. I want to talk about DC and just the absolutely phenomenal work that they've been doing the last few months. Yes. I say this because, like, every time I read Spider-Man books now, I want to kill someone, and I know that the day I stop reading these books, I'm never going to go back again. And DC still, and I'm thinking about it, and I'm like, I find myself, when you are used to what I typically do is I'll read the DC first so that I can save Marvel and then savor it and enjoy it.
Yeah.
But now I find myself like I read the DC stuff like, do I have to read or some shit. Or I have to read like any Superior Spider-Man or Amazing Spider-Man or Superior Spider-Boy or some shit. I'm like, and I'm like, I'm actually enjoying myself in the first half of my reading experience rather than in the second. And I'm intrigued when they do new books like this Boy Wonder, like these one-offs and spin-offs and side calls and whatever. Like I think I really read one, Red, Black and White, Carnage, and Marvel continues to do these. They will do it in Carnage. They will do Deadpool. They will do. Okay, I think I read the whole Moon Knight one, but they continue to do it, and I'm like, nah, not for me. But DC will do Riddler, or they will do like just
Penguin.
Sorry.
Yeah.
They'll do Penguin, or they'll do Peacemaker.
Yeah.
Or they'll do like there was a serious Peacemaker they did. There was a comedic Peacemaker they did, and both were good. I think Marvel the maybe some of the few things that they do off the beaten track would be something like maybe Predator. Their Predator books are good. I haven't read the Alien one.
They did Ant-Man. That was good as well. The Ant-Man anniversary.
Which one was that? What was it?
The one where there was like a lot of time travel involved.
Yeah. Okay. So that's that's the one. That was like 2 years ago.
So 3 years ago. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a while back. Yeah, that they had an Indian Ant-Man. One of them.
In the future.
Yeah. So that was like, dude, that was like 2-3 years ago.
Yeah.
And I'm like, they even this thing that you guys were jizzing about. What was that one that Zadarsky did? Avengers something. I can't remember.
Twilight. No,
Avengers Twilight.
it has fallen off.
Which started good. Yeah, exactly. Like
Yeah,
the
it has
first
fallen
two
off. Yeah.
issues were decent. I'm like,
But let's be frank, and this is what I've always said about Marvel. In terms of one-offs and arcs, they've never really been great.
See,
Marvel's best stories, when they have good stories, have always been an arc
ongoing.
in the ongoing stories. You know, like your Phoenix Saga, I guess the Hickman Secret War. Like, I would struggle to tell you a limited series that was Marvel that was. I think one popped in my mind, but it's rare. Unlike, and for me, I think the best work of DC tends to be those ones. It's really strange. DC really they've got the art of that down to almost a T. You know, with their black labels, even the Kingdom Come,
the Elseworlds.
the Elseworlds, they hit the mark more.
I understand, but honestly, DC is actually having those ongoing series like Birds of Prey and Nightwing, that are actually getting strong, like stable. They are stable enough. They're like, okay, this is interesting. Like honestly, even Teen Titans, I'm gonna be honest with you, it's not bad. I know you guys don't like it. Yeah,
Okay.
Tom Taylor's Teen Titans. It's not bad.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not. I'll tell you straight now, it isn't.
No, I'm reading it.
I like it.
We should take a word for it.
Yeah,
it's Tom Taylor as well. So
over the long period of time, DC
Detective Comics is good. That's Ram V.
Yeah, no, but DC.
I don't know that book.
I don't know. This
I like
book.
The Organ.
This year has been very good, and I think at bringing up new authors and giving them freedom to do
a chance. Yeah, okay,
yeah. Like it will sometimes authors really bad, sometimes authors are really great. But like when it comes to authors I'm reading for the first time, and it's a great book, I tend to find that more on DC's side than on Marvel's side.
But you know what Marvel's been doing recently?
Well,
digging up all these writers from the 70s to come. I don't know what they're doing. No, seriously, I've been seeing books from Tom DeFalco, Steve Orlando. You know, what's going on?
I'm sorry, Tom DeFalco.
But this. That's like, but this like that was like this strength has always been Elseworlds, like graphic novels, one shot. That has always been their strength. When it comes to building,
in the ongoing series,
those books you're calling, they are basically Elseworlds. Like Birds of Prey is not connected to anything at all. It doesn't care about what is going on in the world. It's like it's a solo book. Take your book, do your shit. Nightwing is the same thing. Take your book, do your shit. Like
okay,
it's
and to be fair to DC again, this is always okay. This is DNA has always been do your own thing.
Yes,
the interconnectivity that they do is something that was been forced on them because they tried to do with Marvel. It's never their strength. So when they go to these Elseworlds or write the stories where they can ignore, they tend to shine. They tend to shine a lot more.
True.
And their characters are a lot. Okay, I don't want to. Their characters are a lot more broad. Like you can impute you can take an angle to all these characters in ways like Marvel characters are very human. Like you know their specific traits, you know their specific characterizations down to a T. It fits. But like with DC, you can do the serious peacemaker, you can do the unserious peacemaker. You can do a serious Batman, you can do a comedic Batman. Like you can take any different angle you want, and because their stories are more mythological, you have a lot more freedom in what kind of stories you can tell with these characters. Like if Spider-Man, for example, is always going to be down. It's always going to be down on the luck Spider. It's an human relatable Spider-Man, but I'm not going to read Spider-Man to see a god Spider-Man on that particular scale. It's always going to be that very human level. This thing, but you can see Superman, even Superman self. Like one of my best stories about him, you can write a Superman that is about the reporter going about his day. Like all these characters. So there's a lot more freedom of how you showcase these kinds of characters. Whereas it's also their problem because when it comes to defining a cohesive universe for DC, it has always flopped. New 52, for example, they tried their best to make it cohesive. I mean, I will blame their writers for that, but like it's very difficult to because everybody has their own version of what these characters look like in their head. And immediately you put a template down, the next person is going to come and say, no, that is not my Wonder Woman. This is my version of Wonder Woman. Yeah. And they go on like that. So it works for DC in that way. But for Marvel, and I don't think Marvel has invested as much into graphic novels and Elseworld book.
Yeah, no, they don't tend to. I'm trying to think. They're all about events now, ongoing events, crossovers.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of the last.
I mean, Twilight. You could say Avengers Twilight.
Twilight.
One,
Yeah, it's an example. It's an example, but again, it was okay, but it didn't turn out as good as I thought it was going to be.
It struggled to be okay.
Yeah.
I don't even know. It's generous.
Yeah, it didn't fly. It didn't like. It had a very great premise, but I don't think cheap.
Yeah, to me, it went nowhere. And sometimes, I guess, and this is good. I guess that's what Tunde's trying to say. That sometimes because if I look at Twilight. I love Captain America a lot.
Yeah.
But even in Twilight, I struggled with him. He seemed to be like a caricature of himself.
Yes.
So I kind of went, oh God,
That's on you, Chip. That's on you.
There was no
no
real
personality.
Yeah.
Like dour and old man. And it was just anyway, sorry, I digressed. Yeah.
So
how did we go on this?
But it's an interesting topic, like talking about like what's
doing really well. I just generally find myself looking forward to their stuff more now.
And recently, DC has embraced that. Just back to praising DC. DC has embraced that a lot in the past few years. They are no longer focused on connecting stories anymore. I don't think there are very few books that have these massive crossover elements to them. It might be within the family, like Batman family are doing something, Superman family is doing something, or Wonder Woman. But like a general universal crossover, I think it's very. I don't think maybe
they haven't done what
Who's giving us
my adventures?
Justice League.
What?
Who's giving us my adventures with Superman? Not DC.
No, the comic book.
We're talking about comic books.
No, I want to bring Tunde back down to earth.
No, we're talking about comic books, like.
So
Red. If you let this go on, sorry, you go.
No, I was going to say that since they got rid of the Justice League, I don't think they've done any.
Do you know what? You know the funny thing? I keep on forgetting that the Justice League is gone. That's just how bad. I don't really. I was like I don't miss him, which is weird.
I don't at all.
So strange.
Yeah. Until you bring Hickman back, I don't care. I'm not really. I'm happy they are gone because Justice League got really close at some point in time.
Should we rate Boy Wonder?
Oh yeah.
Let's do that.
Let's go for it.
Okay. I'm going to give this a 4 based on my enjoyment of it.
Good.
Yeah. Give it a 4.
That one.
Exactly the same score for me. 4.
Yeah. I'm going to go higher. 4.5.
Okay.
It is a book I'm going to read over and over again for a while.
It's a book I opened, then I shut it. I said, "Oh God, I've already downloaded it. Let me read it." And I'm glad I did. I'm really glad I did.
Yeah. So that's a full recommendation from everybody here. Go check out Boy Wonder by Juniper.
Yeah. Our African brother. So please, guys, when you say the name Juniper, it's not some Malaysian chapel.
I'm not sure how many people will make that mistake you made that
Oh gosh.
Yeah. Okay. So we have 2 other books here we want to talk about quickly.
Yeah.
Godzilla, Here There Be Dragons. Yeah. So who has read this?
I have.
Kex?
Yep, I've read it. I read it last week.
Okay. Can you give us a summary about it?
Right. Kex, you go. Okay.
So the reason why we read this basically was because this is one of the nominees for an Eisner Award. I think best original story or best limited or something like that. Yeah. It was 5 issues. IDW, self-contained, by Frank Treria.
Frank
something like that. Yeah.
It's a word. You know him, right?
I don't.
Oh no, he's been around. Oh, he's not. He's been around. I'm struggling to mention some of his books, but yeah, he's old school. Yeah.
He's an OG. Yeah. So the book is basically a story of Godzilla set in the sort of Pirates of the Caribbean time. So it starts off with a Jack Sparrow type guy who's awaiting execution, a Jack Sparrow type pirate, down to a T, down to the me matey, me blah blah blah, exactly. And the way Pirates of the Caribbean, the first one starts him awaiting execution. So this one is he's in a cell, and then he tells like his jailer basically that look, and the sergeant there like, look, I have a story to tell you guys about a dragon that I encountered, blah blah blah, and it's him recounting the story of how he and his crew. Yes, encountered Godzilla in the Spanish Isles or something, or whatever. Spanish Isles? Sorry, Mediterranean or Caribbean.
In the Caribbean.
Yeah. So that's basically what it is, and it's across the 5 stories. Him telling them of them getting to Monster Island, trying to find the gold that Godzilla is supposedly guarding, or that was hidden on Monster Island. They went up against, I don't know, you are the kaiju guy. There was like a giant, a kraken type squid that came as well. There was a big a crab monstrosity or whatever.
Yeah, if I quite 3 or 4.
Yeah, about 3 or 4. Yeah,
oh, the kaiju,
He fought. Did he fight the bats? Anyway, So that's just basically what it is. It's a Pirates of the Caribbean meets Godzilla.
Yeah, and I guess one of the key plots, more for your benefit today, is there's a conspiracy to keep stories of Godzilla secret.
Yes.
Okay.
So this guy is using these stories to try and get out of being killed. That listen, I can show you this. I can tell you what happened, and his tales reach the ear of members of this secret society. Basically, like a Godzilla protection. I don't know how you want to describe it. And this
like the Illuminati protecting the secret of Godzilla.
Yeah, and they go way high, like proper high into society.
Yes.
So and they are ruthless in coughing up the secrets of the existence of Godzilla.
Did they have a reason?
Not really, beyond the fact that it's the stories about
the knowledge of cosmic chaos.
Yeah, that aliens have come to Earth, and there are some people that it's like working for them. So there's nothing really.
I mean, it's the same question I asked Flat Earthers. Why do they think people are? Why is it secret? Why is the government? So why do people keep this secret? I don't know. You understand? And to me, it's way more trouble because Godzilla's not being very circumspect. He's going around murking ships, murking Spanish armadas.
The armadas,
yeah. So you know how the English beat the Spanish Armada. In this book, it was Godzilla that did it. It wasn't. It was. the Brits covered it up. And kind of claimed the victory. So and so Godzilla and the kaiju monsters are almost a background. They're not really. You see them. I mean, they're in there a lot. But it's more about the humans, and because especially these pirates, because they're so focused on this gold, they're risking their whole life, and they're seeing Godzilla, and they're seeing fight on these big monsters, and it's like they're dodging between his legs to go and get to the gold. You know, that kind of with the expected results where most of them just die.
Most of them.
But question: Godzilla, is a monster, a proper monster?
No, he's
or protector of something.
No, protector.
He's not a protector, and he's not a monster.
Idea. Yeah.
He literally is like it's like almost like you know how we humans operate.
Yeah.
Imagine ants.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's like that kind of.
Yeah.
So he doesn't notice them. Yeah. So the only time he notices the only time he notices the armada is they fire upon him.
Yeah.
And that's like an ant pinches your toe and you see the ant hill and you're like,
yeah, exactly.
And he just really eradicates all of them and then he moves on.
It's not malicious. He's just doing his own thing. Yeah. And obviously in Monster Island, he will go. Godzilla. He will walk. What are you doing here? They start fighting.
Okay.
And so that's the backdrop to all these humans running around and
Yeah.
trying to do their own thing now.
What are you doing here?
But question:
Yeah, go on.
the here be dragons. They are actually dragons.
No.
The fight, the promise of Godzilla versus dragons is realized.
No.
No,
Godzilla is the
there are no
dragon.
dragons at all. Godzilla is the dragon.
The dragon,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
Godzilla
Because
is the
back then,
dragon.
of course, there was no kaiju, so they were like,
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
the times of
I was looking
what they say,
for.
I mean, the only thing he didn't have that a dragon would do is he
his
can't
wings
fly.
and fly.
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
I was hoping for
Yeah.
that, like Godzilla versus a
Now,
traditional
wait.
dragon.
Did we see Ghidorah? No, we didn't see Ghidorah in this. So, because he flies, but I don't think he was in this.
No.
Okay.
I don't know why I'm confused because I just read another because of this. I read another Godzilla title yesterday. I'm mixing it up, like got Mothra, and I read a Mothra book. I was like, now you guys have put me down this whole kaiju comic hole that I never was into before.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, but it was a good book, and there's a twist at the end, but I don't want to call it twist because I saw it coming.
It's still a twist, even though you see it coming.
It's twist, but you can almost predict it in a way. Once you understand the concept behind this group, this United group, what they did in the end is kind of almost like inevitable. If I do you disagree?
No. I think it wasn't shocking.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, it wasn't shocking.
But it's I like the book. It's well drawn. It's got a very this is not a word. It's got a very palliative feel to it.
Yeah.
and that includes the art. It's 5 issues, and I just sat down already all in one go. And the artwork is by a guy called Inaki Miranda. I don't know. Again, Inaki Miranda. Take that.
Yeah. No, the artwork looks really nice.
Yeah.
Like the colors, the way it's popping, I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So Godzilla, Here Be Dragons.
Yeah, Here Be Dragons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You said it's mostly a human. It's basically a pirate story with Godzilla in the background as one of the obstacles they need to overcome.
Yeah, it's basically the whole Caribbean history of the pirates, English versus the Spanish, all that stuff. Yeah.
Okay. So if like this is going to be a fun TV show, like fun background watch, if it was a TV show, like something you would enjoy, popcorn, blockbuster popcorn.
I think so, yeah, because it is pirates or it is Johnny the captive is Johnny Depp is Johnny Depp as Jack Sparrow, and then he just happens to be traveling.
Yeah, and a lot of the best interactions are between that pirate. Is people questioning him.
Yes.
And the nobles, because he's very rude, very, he's street, and then he's dealing with these members of the monarchy.
Yeah,
is it monarchy or the noble people basically?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's good to know. And yeah,
all right, let's
ratings.
Yeah, ratings. Since I gave Boy Wonder 4, I'm gonna give this a 3.7. I really enjoyed it, but I think there's a lot more to Boy Wonder than this.
You can enjoy two different books equally for completely different reasons and give them the same score.
No, but I feel the need to put Boy Wonder above this.
Okay.
But I don't want to put down this book. This is a fun read. This is more of a fun read.
Then
I think Boy Wonder's more of it's a good read, and it's I don't want to say serious work because it's not that serious, but I think there's more intellectual application to Boy Wonder. Why am I getting so pumped?
Okay,
a 3.
A 3. Okay, that's fair.
I didn't enjoy it as much as that one did. I'll give it a 3.
Yeah. Okay, that's good. And our last book for the day, Kill Your Darlings by Ethan Scriver. And yeah.
Oh, Ethan Scriver wrote this. Okay.
Yes, Ethan Scriver, yeah. Kill Your Darlings. I'll give a brief summary of the book, basically. It follows this girl, Rose, who imagines fantastic creatures and all of that. A very super active imagination that turns out to be real. And she kills her mom in a fire that we don't understand what happened. Yeah.
She's in a
She has,
trance when this happens. So
yeah,
it's not
she's
as
in
if
a
she
trance,
willingly murders her mom,
but yeah.
but she's
So
in a trance when she burns
she's
the
in a
house.
trance.
So very, very convenient. Okay, kind of.
Very no, she's a little girl. She's dealing with a
Oh,
very
what age
oh, she
range?
was eight.
Oh, okay,
Like
okay,
she's still at the age of playing with teddies and playing doing all this active imagination kind of thing.
okay.
And then in the middle of that, she discovers that imagination is getting away from her. She discovers a monster. She like searching, and when she comes out of it, she finds herself outside the house with a kerosene. What's this thing called? Keg, and the house is on fire.
Right,
So
right, right, right,
yeah.
right.
So predictably, she gets sent to a mental institution for 8 years. Then one of her creatures come to help break her out as she was escaping. That kind of shit happens. And then she's thrown back into this world and she discovers some secrets. I won't put it secrets like that. She discovers more how real the world is, how depressed, like what caused the issue to happen in the first place. And we follow that story till the end in issue 8, where we get the big final confrontation. It's There are parts of it that are very, what's the word for this? You can see where the story is going. Basically, it's a comfortable read. It's a story you're basically familiar with.
Right, okay.
Yeah, as you're reading it, you get to that global. Okay, I get where it's going. I get what is happening. I know what is happening here. But it's also very. I enjoyed it, and the art is very brilliant. The art is really, really good for what it is. It's one of those very well drawn books.
Right. Sorry, actually, can I?
Yeah,
I just thought so. I forgot something very important. All
yeah.
these books we're reading them because they were Eisner nominated.
Yes. I'm not
Nominated.
sure about yes, yes.
Yes.
Did they win?
No, it's
No, no,
just the
no. They haven't been.
nominations
They
that
haven't
are
been. They
Right.
haven't
Okay.
been.
Okay. 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 Okay.
The
Fine.
winners
Okay.
haven't been
Fine.
announced yet.
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. Kex, have you read this one? Kill Your
I have.
Darlings.
I have.
Okay.
It's 8 issues from what they said. I've only read 5.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
This is interesting. I liked the first issue a lot. I thought it had a lot to tell. I think I felt it. I was sucked in. So there's this 8-year-old girl who has this hyperactive imagination. So she plays with her dolls. She brings out her teddy bears. So she has created a fantasy world in her head where she's the princess, but she's a battle princess. She's a war princess. So
Right.
there is
Okay.
a fight between her people, her dolls and co, against another bad sect of people or whatever. And like I said, her imagination is super active. There's peace treaties. She's like literally talking to her daughter. She's like, okay, Sir Galahad, come on the left flank. Da, 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 da. And we're seeing it both from her real world perspective, where she's in a room with teddy bears, as well as her fantasy land, where she is on the battlefield with a massive sword, blah, 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 blah. And so she takes a break and then she goes and she calls her mom. So she's child of a single mom. And her mom is in the kitchen sorting out bills. And she's like, Mom, come join me. We're losing the fight. Da, 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 da. And her mom is like, Look, I'll come join you later. I'm busy right now. So that just kind of gives us an inkling into the kind of life that she lives. Not many friends, it doesn't seem like, apart from this Elliot guy who they do like D&D together. They play like
Right.
fantasy
Okay. Yeah.
D&D
Okay.
cards together. And no dad in the picture. Not a great deal of money, hence why she's playing with dolls and has a super active imagination. So I'm already intrigued. Now she starts having some almost recurring waking nightmares, like right today, like she has some disturbing vision slash nightmares. And at the end of book 1, she was being chased by something in a dream or something. She's being chased by um, something that we can't see that is asking her to do something, and she runs out. And the next minute, someone's shaking her awake. It's her friend Elliot. And he's like, wake up, blah, 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 wake up. And she wakes up and she's standing out with, a jerry can and matches, and the house is burning.
Right.
And her
Okay.
mom is in the house. So all the neighbors have come out. They're like, what did you do? That kind of thing. So I'm already like, okay, this is like, so obviously this girl is under the thrall of something in another dimension or fantasy land or something. Issue 2 opens with, as today said, she's in the psych institute / foster home
Care.
or
Yeah,
care,
yeah.
like home for wayward kids or something like that. They are being sedated, constantly medicated. Her friend comes to see her. They break out. I think they're like 17 or 18. They break out, and then one of those. Oh, sorry. Before they break out, her one of the
Dolls,
dolls. Yeah, I'm trying to
imagination,
describe it exactly.
teddy
So
bears.
one of her teddy. Today that's the word. Jesus Christ. Thank you. One of her teddy bears that she used to imagine as a talking elephant comes in and rescues her. Like these are like teddy bears, like literally
Yeah,
small,
yeah,
like
yeah.
short teddy bears, and the rest. And then so we find out that her world is real, and then she goes into this world, and all her imagination, like there is a land and all the like different is it anthropomorphic animals, like animals walking on two
All going
feet.
around.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just talking like almost like she's stuck in a cartoon, and her friend is there with her this time. And so at this point, I'm like, okay, I'm losing it a little bit because I'm like, okay, what is like uncover whatever is happening here really quickly. Her friend gets possessed by, I think, the main body, which is like some sort of dark spirit or evil spirit or something in the fantasy land. I don't know. There's a lot happening, and I'm like, I should enjoy this book more than I'm enjoying it. Do you remember today? Do you remember there was a movie? Is it I Kill Robots? I Kill Giants. Did you ever watch I Kill Giants?
I watched the movie. Yes, it's something.
It's based on the comic book where a
Yes,
girl in her mind, like, she kills giant, like she has a sword. It's very, very, very similar to that. So maybe because I've read that, I was like, okay, this is okay, but I wasn't convinced. I don't know today. Does it get better? Because as at issue 5, when I dropped off, I thought this was middle of the road. I was like, I don't quite know if
it
if this
doesn't
deserves.
get better. It doesn't. Like the story, you get to know more. Where
Yeah.
you are, issue 5, have you discovered the history of the old woman?
No, I am where that thing has taken over her friend.
Oh,
They
okay.
have the friend. I think the thing was daring her to kill the friend and then asked her to do something for him. I can't
And
remember.
that's where the old woman, like, they came back to the real world, and when this is about
Yes,
to kill the friend,
they
the
came
old
back to
woman
the real world.
appears.
Yes, they came
Yeah,
into a I think it was like a
is
video rental
this?
store or something, and
Yeah,
felt like, yeah, like a blockbuster.
yeah.
Yes.
So it doesn't get. I won't say it gets better,
Yeah.
but it wraps up the story. Like it tries to. The story just doesn't resonate with me. The story of the old woman and why all that is happening.
Okay.
It doesn't resonate with me. There's an emotional story there
Okay.
that they're trying to tell.
Okay.
Like the relationship between why the old woman is there, how that
Yeah.
relates to her mother, how that relates to her,
Yeah.
what is all of that happening, and the final battle. It just doesn't strike a chord with me as much as I think they were going for. Like it could have been. It's too surface level.
It feels that way. Yeah.
Yeah, it's too surface level. Like there are a lot of very serious things happening in the book
Mm,
that the book is waving off away. That I'm like,
yeah.
if you take a minute to think about this thing
Like,
a bit
they don't kill that bomb.
more, she
You
killed her
know.
mom.
I'm like,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
we never really get that address. Even in the
Yeah.
5 issues we've had, we've never really gotten that addressed
No,
in
no, it doesn't
a
get
in a
addressed.
sense. Like she killed her mom once. This monster brought her mom back for her,
Oh,
and she
yes, and
killed
then
her
kill
mom
her again.
again.
Yes, I read that. Yes, I'm sorry, I read
Yes,
that. Yes, brought her mom
and we
back.
are like,
Yeah,
and it even points out to more issues that you think, oh, okay, they're going to like,
resolve.
did she actually really kill her mom because her mom was neglecting her so much because she was very hungry and all of like they reveal a bit more about her past that her childhood was not happy at all. There was barely
Oh,
any food. She was in the part where
okay.
she kills her mom again, where the monster was saying, why do you want to protect your mom? This is the woman that
Yeah, I just
neglected you, that
yeah.
abandoned you.
I thought the thing
There
was
was
just
no
trying
food
to
in the
make her
fridge
feel
and
bad.
all
Yeah.
of that. But yeah, I'm like, if this is true, these are serious things that we need to be addressed. But the story just like,
Yeah, just
oh
waved
yeah,
off.
that
Yeah.
happened. Let's continue. I'm like, okay. They try to address it in the end, but it doesn't hit
Kind of fall
the
flat or
landing
something.
for
Yeah,
me. It does all the right things in terms of,
yeah,
oh, there's a big fight, there's a,
yeah.
this thing and all of them. I'm like,
Does it wrap
I don't.
up, or is it one of those those the call type endings where end of volume 1.
I think volume 2, the story here,
Yes.
it wraps up like the
Okay,
villain is the villain is defeated and all of that.
Okay.
Now, whether there will be another volume,
Okay.
I don't know. So yeah,
Okay.
it's
Okay.
one of those it's one of those type of books.
All right.
Yeah. So let's see how it goes, because you can actually tell another story from here if you want to, but yeah, it's you can read it for the artwork. At least issue 1 artwork is good. And the artwork is consistent throughout,
Okay.
but overall.
So the question I wanted to ask, and this applies to the other two. These have all been nominated. You guys said for Eisner Awards, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
I believe we all agree that Boy Wonder should have been nominated. I'm guessing.
No,
Boy Wonder is not.
Boy Wonder is not. Boy Wonder is
Oh.
not. I picked Boy Wonder because
Okay.
Boy Wonder
So
is new.
Godzilla?
Yeah.
Okay.
Godzilla, The Call, and Kill Your Darlings.
Yeah.
Right. Do you think they're worth being nominated for Eisner? Eisner or Eisner?
So
I think
they
The Call,
call
maybe. I think The Call.
Godzilla, Kill Your Darlings, Superman Lost. We are nominated for Best Limited Series. The MPP Popo. I don't think any of us is going to get that. It's the 5th one for that as well. But considering the state of comic books last year, I'm not thinking, and we've not read a lot actually. These books are good to decent. So if the state of books last year was as poor as I'm thinking, based on the little I read, then I think it's okay.
Okay. So it's funny that the one book I thought deserved an Eisner Award is not the one that wasn't even nominated.
That was
It's not. Yeah.
Which one did you think it would be?
the Boy Wonder.
Boy Wonder, but
Boy
apparently
Wonder,
it's
okay.
not. So Godzilla Hair There Be Dragons. Yeah, I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I would never have nominated that for any Eisner Awards.
I agree.
Personally.
I agree.
I've not read Clear Darlings. The Call. I did a Call. But when you say Eisner Awards, it's got to be like the best of the best.
Yeah, of the year.
Well, I guess. Okay, so I guess it says more about the year then. Okay, fair
Yeah.
enough. That's fair enough. That's a good point. That's a good point.
Yeah. But would you give Superman? Did you read Superman Lost? Because that's like the last book nominated for Eisner, but we've read that.
I wouldn't.
Yeah, no, I would not.
Over The Call.
Actually, no, I think
I
I'll give
would
the Call.
not. I wouldn't
Yeah.
give it over. Or I would.
Yes.
I would give The Call over Superman.
Over
Lost.
Superman Lost.
Superman
Yeah.
Lost. That started off strongly, and they
So
lost its way.
strong.
He lost his way.
Yeah.
It was just
Okay.
do nonsense towards the end.
Yeah. But okay. So The Call. So for best limited series, we've read 4 out of these books. The Call, Godzilla, Here There Be Dragons, Kill Your Darlings, and Superman Lost. I think it's safe to say that we would all give The Call the award for best limited series if we are voting.
Yeah. I would.
I
Yeah.
guess.
I would.
I guess.
I would.
Yeah.
I was trying to
Except
see
anybody.
criteria for Eisner Awards, but I can't find it. They just vote based on
Yeah,
category.
you're voting by your peers.
Yeah.
By comic writers and artists and stuff like that. So, yeah.
So it's an old school, oh, hey, all right, mate, I fought for you this year, you fought for me next year type of situation. Okay.
Well, I think, yeah. So The Call, everybody should get on that. Kill Your Darlings, yeah, it's okay. It's a comfortable read.
We haven't rated it.
I'll give it a 2.5.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
2.5 to 3.
Eisner nominated comic. Hey.
Yeah. It's a comfortable read. You won't be annoyed reading the book.
Okay.
You can read it in one go and you are done with it. It's like that kind of book.
Okay. 2.5 as well. I was going to go lower, but when your pitch is true because it doesn't upset me.
Yeah.
Yeah, 2.5. But at the same time, I can't beat my chest for it.
Yeah, I won't give it any. I won't like the artwork is fine, I think, but like for overall quality of the story, 2.5 is fine. Okay. So that's for best limited series. Now we've also been talking about Eisner Award for best new series.
Okay.
We've talked about reading Local Man. I mean, some of us are already reading it. The other books include Beneath the Trees Where Nobody Sees. Anybody wants to read that? There's Black Cloak by Kelly Thompson again. She was the darling for this. Yes, an image book. I think we can get. Yeah, for next year. For next week, I mean.
Yes.
Yeah. There's also this book that we talk about the industries, the distillery comics.
Yes.
Sumner, A Bedtime Story by Becky Cloonan. There is Phantom Road by Jeff Lemire.
I'm going to read that.
Yeah. So,
okay, you know what? So next week, let's talk about Black Cloak, and then we have season 4 of The Boy starting as well.
Yeah.
And then we have Adventures of Superman and.
Then we are still continuing to read.
I think that's
okay. So we'll continue doing that. I think we'll continue reading most of these books and picking our winners for the Eisner Awards.
Yes,
Okay.
It's a good way to at least get us to read comics that we've not been doing in a while.
Yeah, agreed.
Okay.
Anything else?
No.
Right. Thank you very much for listening to us. It's been episode 186 of Naija's Geeking Out. Remember to rate, like, subscribe on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. And over to you today.
Yes, goodbye, guys. Read good comics and read DC comics. Like we've established here, they make the better comics nowadays.
Oh God,
So,
you are insufferable.
Completely and absolutely insufferable. See, when next year comes and they start making the best movies, you guys will hear word again. Well, yeah, good night.
Well, I guess that's my cue, right? Okay, so good night. I should be fully back next week and caught up with everything.
I hope you enjoyed your nap. Your mid podcast nap.
What's it wrong?
I'm giving you the Nyemo here.
That one.
Thanks again, guys, for listening to us, and we will see you later.